All right. Well, I think we have a good group here so far if we want to get started.
Hi, all. It's Dinah.
Hello.
Hi, Dinah.
Hi, everybody.
We need to do a roll call with our presenters.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Let's do a roll call and see if the retirees are here. I'm going through the participants list right now just to double check. But we can start with Renee Fortier if you want to kick this off.
All right. So we've already been chatting, but for those that I haven't been chatting with, hello everyone and welcome to our 2020 celebration. Hopefully our first and last virtual celebration. Maybe we'll have to do it again, but I sure hope not, because it's great to see you, but it's even better to see people in person. We're here today to say farewell to 8 of our colleagues as they embark on a new chapter of their lives. So ideally, we'd really like to be in person and together, but at least we have this opportunity to be able to do this online and to see each other virtually, and hopefully we'll be able to see each other in person again soon. So we're celebrating the long-time dedication of 8 of our colleagues that we will surely miss. They include Janet Lee and Hyra Rendon, who both have 20 years, Dinah Rowley, who has 25 years of service, Charles Chung and June Dixon with 32 years of service, and Brian Holthausen, Chris Park, and Carolyn Shabata, all of whom have 38 years of service. When you add that up, it's a total of 243 years of service. So please give them all a round of applause. So, that was a good woo-woo from somebody. So now I'm going to turn it over to Lauren Bergal, manager of our integrated marketing and communications area. She's going to be MC of the program today. So take it away, Lauren.
Hello, everyone. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of today's program. We're going to have the speakers, including the retirees and their managers. Some people submitted videos, some audio, and some are going to be joining us live. So please bear with me as I switch back and forth across Southern California to different people's video feeds and their video submissions and this PowerPoint presentation. After the speeches, we're going to have a fun trip down memory lane with a photo slideshow and showcase some of the time that our retirees spent at E&T and out and about. And then we'll turn it back to Renee for some closing remarks. As a friendly reminder, please keep your mics muted unless you're one of the live speakers or unless you don't mind us hearing what's going on in the background. As you probably got when you joined this call, the presentation is being recorded so that those who couldn't join us live can watch it later. So to start us off, we're going to celebrate Janet Lee with 20 years of service. So I have Prachi and Lisa with video submissions for Janet.
Hello all. Thank you for joining in to celebrate our retirees today. Congratulations, Janet, Charles, June, Carolyn, Dina, and all others. I'm sorry that Janet could not join in today, but Janet, thank you so much for your service and your contribution to our organization. On behalf of our entire team, we wish you a very exciting retirement. We wish you nothing but a lot of love, family time, and good health. All the best. We will miss you here.
Hopefully you guys heard that.
Yes.
Yep, we got it.
All right, next up we have Lisa for Janet.
Good afternoon. While today I would really like to celebrate with everyone their retirements at the end of this month, I am specifically here to talk about Janet Lee. And I appreciate Prachi allowing me some of her time to do that. Janet and I go way back. I hired her as the accounts receivable and cashiering manager when I was fairly new to the role of manager over finance and accounting. She was a great fit because she knew how to work with people and she knew all the accounting stuff that the rest of us didn't know. At the time, everything was very manual. The entire team, which was quite a bit larger than it is now, did everything by hand. We counted all the money from the kiosk sales and the gate sales manually from the attendants, and then turned around and counted it back to the main cashier. Everything was reconciled manually. Accounts receivable was basically taking pieces of paper and writing that information on a different piece of paper, and we used to send in the cash recap to corporate accounting, and it was literally probably about this tall of paper, maybe even taller. All the payroll deduction was done manually. Every payroll deduction start had to be entered into the system manually. Every stop had to be entered into the system manually. All the refunds were manual checks that had to be calculated and written on pieces of paper. So Janet really took that team and grew and changed it in a way no one else could have done. It's now a team that really is doing analytical work and letting the computers do all the movement of information from place to place. And it couldn't have happened without Janet. She really developed a team and led a team that's amazing. On a personal note, it's going to be weird to go back to work and realize that Janet's not there any longer. She deserves better than a retirement party that's virtual without hugs and well wishes in person. But I know that she's very much looking forward to the time when she can once again go out to happy hour and mimosa brunches with her friends, and especially the opportunity to spend time with her son and daughter-in-law and Noemi and Harper. So Janet, thank you for everything you did. I wish you the best. Please don't be a stranger. And maybe when we can all go out to eat and drink freely again, you'll allow me to buy you a dinner and a drink. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Lisa. So next up, we have Jairo Rendon with 20 years of service. So to celebrate Jairo, we have Brian with a video.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Jairo. If I were to share one story or one experience that helps define Jairo's character, it came one morning when Jairo seemed pretty fatigued. After asking him if he was going to make it, he told me that the night before, he had taken his early teen, or I think at the time even 12-year-old daughter to a Justin Bieber concert. It was brutal. This was the early aught era of the Biebs for the context, and the steady screaming of believers still ringing in Jairo's head. Ouch. But when you really look at it, Jairo took his daughter to see her favorite singer after working a 5 a.m. shift, and still made it the next morning to disarm the building alarms, clock in at 4:53, as he would consistently do, and open our campus for business. I maintain he still should have taken a break for himself, for his own health and sanity, but you can see his dedication to his family. As a colleague, Jairo was as steady and reliable as anyone could hope for. While Jairo will no longer be in the office with us, he is leaving us with numerous catchphrases or Jairoisms, along with many, many stories that will never fail to cause joy. Some of you may have caught some of his Jairoisms in previous story. To Jairo, I wish you well, many long days of health and wonderful experiences with your family, and always help people find a way to the beach.
Thanks, Brian. So now we have some words from the man himself.
Hello, everyone. I would like to take a moment today to share with you all my sincere gratitude for my time I spent working here at UCLA Parking Services. I have been with you all for 20 years now, but we have all managed over the years to get along and grow as a unit. I'm so thankful of having been given the opportunity when I was only 41 years old to join this dedicated, forward-thinking, and highly respected organization. Being taken on board here and grow and excel in my field was a career move that I had been hoping to find. My talents and work ethics were noticed and appreciated from the very beginning, something that I have never forgotten or ceased to appreciate. I want to thank from the bottom of my heart you all, managers and the colleagues, for believing in me all those 20 years ago. So now a new beginning for me, a new journey, the time everyone calls retirement, the time that is for all those hobbies and activities we don't have time to do when we have a career. I have been giving it a lot of thought, appreciating this new lease on life, which is now available to me. My wife and daughter are extremely happy for me, eager to introduce me to all sorts of new leisure activities to tire me out with all this new free time I have on my hands. I hope those of us who have become close over the years will be able to keep in touch and share with me my new activities. So thank you all once again for the virtual retirement celebration, for all your support and well wishes. You all mean a great deal to me. Finally, as Kobe Bryant said after 20 years career, Mamba out.
Thanks, Jairo. Congratulations. So next up, we have Dinah Rowley with 25 years of service. So with some words via an audio clip is Carolyn Shibata.
25 years ago, Dinah Rowley walked through the doors of Parking Services for an interview with Renee and I, and something in our gut told us that she was the person for the job. And boy, were we spot on, if I do say so myself. For those of you who know and have worked with Dinah, I don't need to tell you what she brings to the table. One can only hope to have a Dinah on their team. I sometimes wonder if there are multiple Dinah. She's everywhere. Of course, if you blink, you might miss her as she breezes through the hallways of E&T. And you can always count on her to jump in and lend a hand just when you need it most. Her judgment and attention to detail are unparalleled, and she is a master at whatever she takes on. You know, maybe there are multiple Dinahs. But seriously, this all merely hints at Dinah's impact on the organization, the results of which we can never fully repay or thank her for. That said, and while I think Dinah knows how much we all value and appreciate her as a trusted and respected colleague, I've tried to make it a practice not to assume that those we care about know how we feel. Nor do I want to pass up this opportunity to personally and publicly say a few things to her. Dinah, I so admire the person you are, thoughtful, compassionate, and so giving of your time and of yourself. Yours is a reputation hard-earned and well-deserved, and yet, it all seems to come so effortlessly. You are a person of integrity, truly one of the best people I know, and someone I can and have turned to brainstorm even the most sensitive issues. Your perspective has helped keep me grounded. And on those occasions when I've been tempted to just act in my impatience to get things done and off my plate, you've been the one to remind me to take a step back, knowing that merely getting things done can be a far cry from getting things done correctly. Over time, I've come to rely on you for just about everything and anything, knowing with every confidence that each individual and E&T as a whole is in good hands when you are involved. Having worked together for so many years, it's as if you can read my mind. How many times have you finished my sentence or compared notes only to find our thoughts to be virtually identical? Yes, there's a certain feeling of comfort in knowing that you were always just down the hall. Much as I've appreciated the opportunity to work side by side with you for the past 25 years, what I hold most dear is your gift of friendship. and a steadfast friend you are. You would never leave anyone hanging alone on a limb, nor would you leave a friend defenseless with a huge, ugly, smelly, maze-landing caterpillar looming on her shoulder. No, only you sprang into action to rescue me from that horrid anaconda-sized caterpillar. For this and so many more reasons, I will be forever grateful to have had you as a colleague and feel eternally blessed to call you my friend. While I will miss working with you, I look forward to spending more carefree times together. Congratulations, Dinah. Wishing you all the best in retirement.
Yay. All right. Thanks, Carolyn. Now we have Dinah with some words.
Hello, all. I'd like to begin by thanking each and every one of you who has ever waved to me from afar or wished me well. I'd also like to thank everyone who has ever stopped to chat with me in the break room while I washed up. You made my day. To everyone who has ever shared their fears, disappointments, and triumphs with me, and with whom I have shared my fears, disappointments, and triumphs over the years, I thank you. To all with whom I have ever shared a laugh, thank you. You helped to feed my soul. To Renee and Carolyn, to whom I have reported to in one role or another for 24 plus years, thank you for your support, guidance, and friendship. They have been invaluable to me. To those who have partnered with me day in and day out to keep the executive director's office humming and to help ensure the continued success of ENT at large, thank you for being you. And to my booze, I couldn't have done it without you. You have all enriched my life in ways in which I could have only imagined. And now, as I begin this exciting new chapter in my life, I want you to know that I am thankful for my years of service at UCLA, thankful for my friends and family who support me in all that I do and who allow me to lean on them in the tough times and who celebrate with me in the good times. And I am thankful for you. Stay strong, stay well, and be happy.
Thanks, Dinah. Congratulations. I hear clapping in the background. All right, so next up to celebrate is Charles Chung with 32 years of service. So Charles couldn't be with us today, but his manager, Vincent Chu, had some words for him.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone stays safe and be well. Charles Chung is a very popular employee here at Event and Transportation because he is a multi-talent employee. He knows every aspect of transportation. Charles started as a cashier in AR in 1988. Then he moved to special events, citation, van pool, payroll personnel, finance, and permit program. In 2016, Charles moved to IT help desk position. Charles assists staff in selection and purchase desktops, printers, and laptops. He also assists with computer and other technical needs, including troubleshooting issues. Last year, Charles told me he was planning for retirement. I have the mixed feeling that we would lose a great staff, but I was happy for him. Charles has been planning for Expo, the local community with his bike, and I hope he has fun on this adventure. On behalf of Events and Transportation, I wish Charles all the best for this new chapter in his life. We hope he has a safe and healthy retirement and does everything he likes to do with his never-ending weekend. Thank you, Charles, for his 32-year hard work.
Thanks, Vincent. Congratulations. Next up, we have June Dixon with 32 years of service, and I am going to turn it over to Clinton Bench, who will be joining us live and give us some words on June.
Yes, he will.
I will get it over to you now. Oh, okay, here we go.
That's June. See?
Hopefully all of you guys can see what I'm seeing because it's good times.
Okay, I'm just having fun. We have a little background of June. How does a person who's only worked at UCLA for 5 years do justice to sharing thoughts on the retirement of someone who's not only served the university, but events and transportation specifically for 32 years? Well, I try and channel my inner Sherry Lewis, and luckily both of us have some similarities in our personalities, and I think she may be here on the Zoom call too, so she can call me out if I'm saying anything wrong. So June joined UCLA Parking Services back in, I think, 1988 as a staff assistant. She came from Dollar Rent-A-Car, so even before she started here, she already was a transportation professional. This knowledge and experience ended up being invaluable as she transitioned to fleet and transit a few years later. And guess what was one of the first things that she did at Fleet and Transit? She was a Bruin car supervisor. Bruin cars are rental service earlier in her career, and she started building up her knowledge about fleet acquisitions, budgeting, and even bus service as we started to expand what used to be called our Campus Express, now Bruin Bus. But what really made June special back then and now was her compassion for others here in the UCLA community and her deep pride in her work. Making sure others have access to opportunities for growth at UCLA, taking care to make sure that our business is always performed fairly and in compliance with policy and procedure, and keeping our campus safe for drivers, bikers, and pedestrians alike is what June has done now for the last 12 years in her current role as the business and compliance manager for all of Fleet and Transit. And that's not to say it hasn't been a challenge for her. She'll be the first to admit that she never expected to become a driver safety expert and trainer. But when it became clear that that gap needed to be filled in our programming, she took ownership and she made the program her own. When Fleet and Transit needed to revise its operations to meet the Americans with Disabilities Act, June took the lead. The reality is that June is the glue that's kept our department afloat, often behind the scenes. She maintains invaluable institutional knowledge of organizational changes, staffing, and budgetary issues to support management throughout her 32 years of employment here. And put plainly, I've been incredibly lucky to have her as a coworker, as a friend, and really as a guide for me through the weird and wonderful world of UCLA over the last 5 years. While I know that she's a beloved wife and mother at home, she is beloved to us here too at Events and Transportation, and especially at Fleet and Transit. To some like a mother or a sister, and to all of us as a true friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you, June, for all you've done for our institution. Thousands of students, faculty, and staff experiences here are better because of you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Clinton. So we're going to take it back to June, who has some words for us.
Hello, everyone. This is June Dixon. How do you sum up 32 years in a few minutes? Well, it's going to be hard. I have a lot of wonderful memories from starting in parking services in 1988 and 2 years later moving over to Fleet and Transit with Sherry Lewis. We have all been through some challenges, from re-engineering to potentially outsourcing our whole department. And then we learned the Quality Improvement Program, which was a successful re-engineering effort for our department. Participating in the Professional Development Program and serving on staff assembly were great experiences for me. But of course, it is the people that I have worked with that make UCLA such a great place to work. Thank you to Sherry Lewis for her mentoring and coaching, and Renee Fortier and Clinton for the support over the years, and to all of the wonderful people that I have worked with. I am proud of our accomplishments, and I am hopeful that the programs and outreach that we have put in place will make the campus a much safer place. I am excited for all of the changes that are coming and hope once we get back to normal, I will see you all very soon. I look forward to this retirement journey and can't wait to spend more time, more quality time with my family. Thanks again.
Thanks, June. Congratulations. So next up, we're going to celebrate Brian Holthausen, and I'm going to turn it over to Ray and Charles for some live remarks. If I can get Ray to join us.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Full disclosure, a couple hours ago, Brian and I spoke on the phone, and he pled to please be gentle during the speech. So I had to rethink everything during lunch. So
I don't see your video feed. Did you want to join video or?
I look slovenly right now, but I could.
We're used to that.
Totally up to you.
All right. You guys see?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So I'm really gonna miss Brian, and that's not just something that I have to say because it's a retirement party. He's actually been one of the most reliable and dependable employees with a no-nonsense attitude for the last 38 years. Since I've been here at Transportation, there have been several memories that stand out, like the time he saved a man's life while performing traffic control by recognizing he was having a stroke and escorted him and his wife to the ER. We actually wouldn't have even known about it until the man's wife came to the office and told us, quote, "That man saved his life." Another time that stands out was the time Brian was bear hugged and manhandled by a disgruntled customer in Structure 4. Scary at the time, but funny in hindsight, I think. And it's no secret that outside of work, Brian's hobbies include anything that can be lumped into the category of outdoors. He is an ultramarathoner, and he's been one for years. And we regularly joke that my workout is his warm-up when I do workout. He camps with groups and sometimes by himself, which I have no problem admitting would scare the daylights out of me. And he regularly finds peace, happiness, and meaning while on his outdoor adventures. Brian's worked over 40 hours a week in, week out, the last 38 years. Here's hoping he closes this chapter in his life and that he continues his passions and that he spends even more time with his loved ones in good health and good spirits. Brian Holthausen has been a model employee for many years, and I will be proud to call him a friend after his retirement.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn it over to Charles Whittington. I do not see a video feed for Charles. So Charles, if you can hear me, just unmute yourself and then you can have the floor. Charles, are you there? Calling on C-Dub.
His last 3 digits is 672.
Oh, okay, I thought he was the PCCEW. 672. Okay, I see him, but it doesn't look like. What's that?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, cool. All right, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Very much. Brian Holthausen. Oh my. Let's see here. I guess I was fortunate enough to be able to work with you for the last 11 months that I've been over in the enforcement unit. And there are just certain words that come to mind when I think about your work ethic that you have. You've always been committed to whatever task that was put upon you. Your dedication has always been there. You've been devoted to the job forever. And to me, you've always practiced those true Bruin values that we preach each and every day. And for you, it was one that we didn't have to preach to, because you just went out and did it. That it was just in your makeup, it was in your personality, and I'm sure that it will remain there. And speaking of your commitment to the job, we talked earlier in the week, and you had said, "Hey, you know what, CW? Can I go out there and write citations this week?" I'm like, "Brian, write citations, dude. You're done. You're retired. No need for you to do that." But again, that's a testament to who you are as a person. I'll say to you, just keep on being you, Brian. Stay positive. And hey, run like a deer, run like Forrest Gump, because I know you're going to do that in retirement. And you and I also have a date on June 29th where I will see you in the office to close out everything. And I wish you well then, and I wish you well beyond. Thanks for being you, Brian. You're much appreciated.
Thanks, Charles. So we now have Brian live to join us, and I believe he is just on audio right now. So Brian, if you can hear me, the floor is all yours.
Is he on a phone number? We may have muted him.
You know what? Someone just messaged me that he's under Armando. So I will unmute Armando.
Wrong Armando.
Okay, just one sec. He has disappeared. So when Brian gets back on, we will have him take the floor. We'll just give him a minute to reconnect. All right, Brian, you there? I see you're unmuted. Okay, not sure where he is, but Brian, if you can hear me, you can go. Otherwise, what I might do is go to the next person and then we can have Brian come back. Ray or Charles, are you in communication with him by chance?
I know he's in the office, so he might be able to share a device with I think Chris Park is in the office.
Okay, because I see B Holta and it has a microphone, but I don't hear anyone speaking for him. So if you want to just message him, we'll get him at the end if he wants to do that. Sure.
I'll give him a call. Thanks.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we will move it along. And we've got Chris Park here with 38 years of service. So to start off celebrating Chris, we have Carter.
Hold on, they may be able to hear you through my phone. Hey, Laura. I have Brian here now.
Oh, awesome. Okay, go ahead, Brian.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, well, sorry about the mix-up there.
No worries.
Thank you all. Thank you, Ray and Charles. Well, this is almost the job that ended before it began. It was about 1981, and I was just hired as a new student parking attendant. And, sorry, I'm getting feedback. I was just hired as a new student parking attendant. It was my first week, and I was stationed at a gate during a UCLA basketball game. And I was just told to stand there. The training was minimal at the time, and I was just told to stand there and not let anybody in. Well, about 5 minutes later, who comes along? Chancellor Charles Young and three guys in suits. And I'm sure he was going to just show them a good time at a UCLA basketball game. And I said to him, I said, I'm sorry, I can't let anybody in. And he said to me, he said, "What?" And then he kind of mellowed out a little and he said, "Oh, okay. Well, you tell Mary that I was very disappointed." And he just turned around and he left. I never heard anything else about it. That was Mary, of course, is Mary Hook, who was the manager at the time. And, well, there's lots of stories about her. And if you asked any of the old timers, if there's any left, they can tell you about her. But anyway, 40 years later, I'm still here at UCLA, and I've been on this campus for over a third of its history. I came to work around April 20th, and to empty hallways, abandoned offices, nobody walking around, empty parking structures. And this is probably the most profound change that I've ever seen at UCLA in all my time here. I want to wish everyone at events and transportation, my very best wishes for the future. Whatever happens, you will persevere. Next, I want to thank Ray Manguso and Charles Whittington. I could not ask for better managers. You have been forthright, understanding, and accommodating as you have had to manage a section of our department that accommodates many diverse and conflicting requests in a political and sometimes controversial environment. I have no doubt that you will succeed going forward. I want to thank my former managers who over the years have been very good to me. Terry McWilliams, Elroy Kelly, Armando Clemente, Steve Rand, Lee Middleton, and Marcos Fuentes. To my fellow officers, Rick, Yolanda, Tony, Tuan, John, and Robert. We've argued, cursed, and disagreed, and joked around. In the end, we've always come together and supported one another to do the job, and we did the job. We probably have spent more time together with each other than with our families, and we're the closest group in the department. I hope that continues as we continue to do the job. Best wishes to all of you. Now go out and write tickets, damn it. Finally, I want to mention to two people that I think of all the time and left impressions on me. The late Brian Wendell Pugh, a decent man with a great sense of humor, who was a pleasure to be around and who did not deserve what happened to him. And last but not least, James Steele, the late James Steele, we called the Man of Steel, who trained me to be a parking enforcement officer. A solid rock of a man, tough but fair, with a dry sense of humor. His Vietnam stories managed to be both harrowing and funny. He had a solid set of ethics and would tell anyone, whatever their position, what he thought. I hope I lived up to all that he taught me. So now I'll fade away, and I hope events and transportation will manage to function without me. I'm hoping for a few good years before they roll me away to Shady Acres. Thank you, everyone, for the years here.
Thanks, Brian. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So to celebrate the one and only Chris Park, we've got Devron Carter. So I'm going to turn it over to Devron.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I have something that I've written for Chris. It's not actually a speech, it's more of a letter to Chris. I was going to mail this to him because I'm still a little bit confused, but since we're here, I could just read it to him. Dear Chris, I'm still befuddled by your retirement. I always viewed us as that old TV show. You know the one, The Odd Couple. I still can't figure out who's Felix and who's Oscar, but I think by the end of this letter, I'll figure that out myself. Our journey has been a circle of life. You first started reporting to me under Eric. Now I know that it's not entirely accurate, but it fits the narrative, and so we'll just go with that for right now. And now many years later, we're back under Eric. So are you telling me that you're retiring because of him? It certainly can't be because of me. I know over the years I've thrown many curveballs at you, but you've knocked them out the park. You've been able to adapt. Although I started off with Odd Couple, I'm going to venture into a different TV genre, Star Trek. If I'm Captain Kirk, you're my Scotty and Spock. You're the engineer and the first officer. Anytime that I said, hey, we need to go to warp speed, just like Scotty would say, I'm giving it all I can. And you gave it all you can and even more. So if that was me asking you, hey, pick up the maintenance of the signage and painting from facilities or the maintenance for the EV charging, you were on top of it. If it was, saying, hey, I need for you to go over here and start doing second citation hearings, you picked that up. You did an excellent job. You would go and research, investigate, interview every last bit of evidence, person that you could before you rendered your decision, and that was great. Even when I asked you to, hey, maintain the pay station rates and all the documentation for when someone makes a request and everything like that, you did it, maybe reluctantly, but you did it anyway, and I appreciated that. I knew I can always count on you to come through when we needed you, and I appreciate that for so many different things that you did. And right now, it pains me that, hey, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to turn over to your desk or look at your desk and say, hey, Chris, I need this, and you're not going to be there. You're even the things that you did with your other duties, space counting, space inventory. There was never a time where you weren't on top of that. Yes, I know that we had documentation in files, but who needs files when I can just turn to you and ask you, hey, how many spaces do we have here on this level, in this section, in this area? You knew that frontwards to backwards. Those are things I'm going to miss about you. But here we are now. And being on that, there are some things that I'm going to miss, but they kind of annoyed me at times. One was that you were a diehard UCLA fan. No matter what the circumstances, you would always say they're going to win. I'm pretty sure last season that you had the Washington State UCLA game that UCLA was going to come back and beat them. And even though they were down by 30 points, they did. But you were just a diehard UCLA fan from day one. You would always sit here and say that, hey, if they lost, it wasn't their fault. It wasn't the players. It was the coaching. It was the referees. It was, the whatever, bad weather. But you were always for the team and the players. And I think that harkens back to you being a little league coach where you were always inspiring your team to go out and do extraordinary things. And if they failed, then you took it upon you as it was because of you, not them. The other thing that I'm going to miss, but at times it annoyed me, was trying to get you away from the newspapers. And why did you have to have, we're in 2020 and you're still carrying around newspapers? I said, those things are online now, but you just refused to do it. That was just you always. Hey, you're old school and you were going to do that no matter what. And the thing that I definitely am going to miss is all those pesky emails that I would get from HR saying that, hey, your employee is about to exceed their accruals, their vacation accruals. And I know that, there was, arm wrestling, twisting arms, hey, take this day off, take that day off. But I know that deep down it was because you were really dedicated and you loved UCLA so much. But now you're moving into retirement. And I'm truly happy for you, although a little bit sad. So at the end of our long running partnership, I bid you a farewell and a happy enjoyment. I want you to enjoy every moment that you have. And I do have one question though, as you depart. I thought we went in on a goldfish. So who gets that? Is that you or me? But I think you took it. So when you're down in Costa Rica and you invite me down there, have my goldfish so I can take it back. And that being said, although that's the end of this letter, our story will still go on. And at the end of it, I think I'm Felix and you're the Oscar in The Odd Couple. Congratulations, Chris.
All right, thanks, Devron. So we're gonna go to Chris's remarks that he sent in. And here we go.
Hello, everybody. I guess it's time to say goodbye. I've been at UCLA for more than 40 years because I went to school here. This has always been my home, and I love UCLA. When I first started here, we were selling $2 parking with a little token to go open the gates. People would line up Westwood Boulevard all the way down to Wilshire, first thing in the morning, and we'd sell out of parking by 8. Nothing else on campus after that. Since then, we've done the BPP system, the pay stations, and ski data, and here we are at LPR and the e-permit. The same with the campus building. It never stopped, and just look at everything that's happened. Now UCLA is an academic and medical powerhouse around the world. I couldn't be prouder of my university. You know, I have so many memories, like the time the customer handed me an envelope and it turned out to be backstage passes to the Michael Jackson concert, where I met his whole family, Stevie Wonder, Quincy Jones, and went to the after party. And then there's the other time Mike Tyson wanted to beat me up for $8 parking. And I personally think I cost Tiger Woods the LA Open the year it was played here. The US Open was played in LA. But you're gonna have to buy me a beer to hear that story. But the memories I have most fond of are the people I've worked with over the years. My what I call my teammates, but most importantly, they're my friends. And the friendships I will always cherish. And if I haven't had the opportunity to already tell you this in person, I look forward to the time when I can let you know how much you really have meant to me over the years. There's a couple of people I should probably mention personally. And the first is Jack Schwab, who started my career on the path it is today, as it ended. He brought me out of into the digital age by taking me out of the information booth and showing you what a computer was. Second is Alexa Lopez, who really made my last 5 years the most productive and fun years of work, and probably extended my career by 3 or 4 years. She will always be one of my best friends. And Devron Carter, who I've worked for 15 years as my boss. I'm the guy, go guy, and he's the thoughtful, reserved person. And between us, it was a great team. We got so much done. But most importantly, he trusted me to get things done and let me do it. And there's no better confidence builder than that. However, I started doing some thinking, and over the 15 years that I've worked for him, the physical labor he has imposed on me has created so many injuries that I think he was just waiting for me to die off so he wouldn't have to pay for my retirement. I mean, I've had knee surgeries, both hips replaced, broken wrist, torn thumb, Tommy John surgery, separated shoulder, hernias. Well, once I figured out what his nefarious plan was, I knew it was time to start plotting my escape. And so here we are, on the cusp of my retirement. I kind of liken it to when my son went off to college. You realize you're not so essential anymore, but you're happy. He's going off on his own, and he's going to be okay. And that's how I feel about UCLA. You're going to be okay. And on that note, I ask you, please be the good stewards of my campus. Thank you for everything.
Thanks, Chris. All right. I see a lot of
hello, everybody.
Cheering and whatnot. Okay, so next up we have Carolyn Shibata with 38 years of service. And to start us off, we have Renee Fortier with a video tribute.
Where to begin in talking about my dear colleague and friend, Carolyn Shibata? I've been privileged to know Carolyn for more than 30 years. In 1989, I met her when we went to a conference together. She had just moved from student affairs, where she had been for 7 years, to parking services. We had instant rapport with one another. And then in 1992, I moved to parking services, and Carolyn began reporting to me in a variety of roles. She always rose to the occasion, whatever was needed from her, doing whatever it took to ensure the success of our organization. Most recently, Carolyn has been our esteemed executive officer. Although Carolyn is a USC graduate, she is a true Bruin. She's a role model for integrity, honesty, service, and excellence. Excellence is one of her many strengths, and many in our organization and beyond have benefited from another one of her amazing strengths, mentoring. She mentored them, and they learned from her the importance of excellence in all that one does, but they also learned the importance of kindness and integrity and the long-term consequences of the decisions and actions that one makes. She is able to impart this wisdom to others, and she's done so tirelessly, so that many in our organization have benefited in a way that has shaped their lives and shaped their careers within events and transportation, and also many who've moved beyond transportation to leadership roles outside of our organization. On a personal note, Carolyn has been my go-to person and my strategic partner, someone that I could always rely on to give me wise counsel, thoughtful feedback, and that helped me immensely weigh decisions. She's been my confidant, my friend, and a source of unwavering strength. Her dedication to the success of events and transportation and its employees has been exemplary. She leaves a legacy to all of us, and through all of us to whom she has imparted her wisdom. We will miss her immensely. Carolyn, as you move to this next chapter of life, we want to thank you for all that you have done for our organization. We want to wish you great happiness going forward, and we want to congratulate you on a very well-deserved retirement.
Thanks, Renee. All right, and we have some words from Carolyn now.
How does one sum up 38 years of memories and thank so many incredible individuals for the moments shared? And the moments have continued with so many of you reaching out with your kind words and well wishes. You know, I like to think that whatever task is put before me, I give it my full effort and then some. But no matter the effort, it seems impossible for me to adequately express my thanks or even come close to conveying all that I'm feeling at this moment in time. So you'll forgive me if I fall short. To Renee, thank you for affording me the opportunity to share my thoughts and opinions and to strategize with you. Together we have weathered hardships and celebrated many successes. There's so much to be proud of, and I will miss the collaboration and partnership. To my colleagues, thank you for allowing me to serve as counsel and engage with each of you in the healthy exchange of ideas. You allowed me to be candid and perform my job, trusting that you would understand my intent and give me the benefit of the doubt as to my intentions should my words or approach be less than perfect. To my team, I couldn't have asked more of you, nor could I be prouder of all that's been achieved. While I must admit that I never wanted to be a manager of people, I have come to embrace the idea over the years. Now I can't imagine life at E&T without our team. You all made it so rewarding. You all gave more than I could ever ask. So so much so that surprisingly, I'm finding it harder to say goodbye than I would have thought. You each have so much to offer, and with individual strengths. As a whole, I know that I'm leaving behind a talented, committed team with the best yet to be realized. As my time with ENT comes to a close, I know that I am all the richer for the moments shared with so many of you. Individually and collectively, you all accepted my imperfections and enabled me to be the best possible version of me. I hope that in some small way, I perhaps made a difference and have served you well. Until we meet again, stay safe and be well.
Thanks, Carolyn. Congratulations. It's not too late to change your mind. Okay, so next up, we have a special photo slideshow for you all to enjoy. All right, hope you got to see that, enjoy that. Chris, did you see the photo of you with the newspapers? We captured that. Okay, so I'm going to turn it back over to Renee for closing remarks.
Thank you, Lauren. So that brought up a lot of memories, and there were a lot of good times that we've had with all of you who are retiring. It is an absolutely amazing, amazing group of people that are so dedicated, that are friends of ours that we're losing. And we hope that you will stay in touch with all of us because we're already missing you. I want to thank everyone for joining us in today's celebration. There have been a lot of friendships forged in events and transportation, and I know that a lot of you will keep in touch. And we hope that when it's time that people can actually see each other in person again, that those of you who are retiring will please come back and visit us and say hello to all of us so that we can see you again and give you the hug that we would have loved to give you today. So thank you again and congratulations and have a wonderful afternoon, everyone.
Yay. I snuck these bloopers in at the end, so don't kill me, Dinah and Carolyn. This is what happens when I try to take their photo.
This is what happens when I try to take pictures of Dinah and Carolyn and Sarah. They just refuse. Guys.
Shame on you. See you there.
You better not.
You better not.
The end. Thanks
Hi,
for joining,
I missed
everyone.
your name.